My name is Sydney Billups. Also in our group is Adriel Willis and Jashaun Simon, and we are doing a project on expectancy violations theory, and we are going to be entering female and male's intimate and personal zones. When doing our experiment, we decided to do it in the YVC library, and what we did was we took a random 16 people, and we separated it into 8 females and 8 males. So for the first part of the experiment, we had Jashaun choose 2 males and 2 females for whose intimate zones he would enter, and Adriel and I recorded the positive and negative reactions of the males and females when a male was entering their intimate zones. We then had Jashaun repeat the same experiment, still choosing 2 males and 2 females, but now he entered their personal zones, and Adriel and I recorded the positive and negative reactions of these people as he sat a little bit further away from them. We then had AJ repeat the same experiment, so she chose 2 males and 2 females of her choice, and she sat next to them within their intimate zones, and Jashaun and I then recorded the positive and negative reactions of these people. She then repeated the same experiment, but this time she chose the same 2 males and 2 females, and she entered their personal zones instead of their intimate zones. So with this group of people, we wanted to see if there would be a difference between Jashaun, who was a male, entering their intimate and personal zones, versus Adriel, who is a female, entering their intimate and personal zones. Before doing our experiment, we believed that the males and females would have both a more positive reaction to Adriel entering their intimate zone than they would with Jashaun. But we also believed that when entering people's personal zones, we believed that they would both have a positive reaction because this is more of a normal thing within a library setting. When entering the library, there is a very apparent social norm. When you go in, you get your homework, you sit down, you be quiet, and you don't disturb others. The social norm that we are going to violate is within the library and sitting next to people in their personal and intimate zones and making them uncomfortable. We believe that this theory is very important because it gives you a good sense of how to act and react when a social norm is violated, and it also helps you predict the way you should act in certain situations so that others don't think that you are violating a social norm.
During this experiment, I entered people's intimate zones. I tested 2 girls and 2 guys. I had 1 negative reaction from a guy, but also had a positive reaction from another. Both the girls had positive reactions when I entered their intimate zones. When entering people's personal zones, I had positive reactions from both the girls and the guys.
When recording the reactions from both the males and females, Jashaun having positive reactions from all females, some girls would move their stuff out of the way so that Jashaun could even sit next to them, even though it was really close and awkward. And within the personal zones, it was just a neutral thing. The girls would just smile and then look back down at their stuff. With the males, when he entered the intimate zone, one guy had a very negative reaction. He looked him up and down and completely moved his stuff away from Jashaun. And then another male, he looked at him, smiled, and then nicely moved his stuff over, even though they were in a very crowded situation. With the males within their personal zones, they had no negative reaction, and they just smiled again like the females and just continued on with what they were doing.
When entering people's intimate zones, I had 2 males and 2 females, and I had no negative reactions and got positive reactions from all of the people. When entering people's personal zones, I again had 2 males and 2 females and had no negative reactions and all positive reactions.
After Adriel received her reactions, she had positive reactions from absolutely everyone. With the females, she sat down really close next to them and they smiled, moved their stuff over for her, even acknowledged her. Within the personal zones, there was just a smile and just a typical, oh, you're sitting here, and continued doing their stuff. With the males, she also had no negative reactions. One guy she sat next to on a couch very close, he even took his earbud out from what he was doing and started creating conversation with her and actually really liked talking to her.
Our prediction was correct. The males and females that we did the experiment on had a more positive reaction to when I was doing it to them than when Jashaun was doing it.